Darkness engulfed James, swallowing every trace of light. The church's whispers had ceased, replaced by a suffocating silence. He could feel his own breath, ragged and uneven, echoing in the void. Somewhere in the abyss, Daniel's voice trembled. "James, please help me." James reached out blindly, feeling nothing but the cold, empty air. A flicker of crimson light pierced the darkness, revealing Daniel just a few feet away, his figure outlined in an eerie glow. But something was wrong. His brother's body looked fragmented. His form wavered, like a reflection in rippling water. "Daniel, hold on." James lunged forward, but as soon as his fingers grazed Daniel's shoulder, a searing force tore them apart. He was flung backward, slamming onto a cold stone floor. The darkness receded just enough for James to see where he had landed. Inside an ancient underground chamber, its walls lined with rows of skeletal remains, their hollow sockets watching him in eerie silence. At the center of the chamber, Daniel knelt before an altar, bound by chains that pulsed with crimson energy. The figure from before loomed over him, its shadowy form twisting like living smoke. James staggered to his feet, his heart pounding as the entity turned its hollow gaze upon him. "You seek to break the cycle." It spoke, its voice a chorus of the damned. "The sacrifice must be made. The debt must be paid." James clenched his fists. "I don't care about your sacrifice. Let my brother go." The entity let out a hollow, rattling laugh. It raised one skeletal hand, and the book from the altar floated toward James, opening to reveal ancient, blood-stained pages. Words formed on their own, scrawling in dark ink as if written by unseen hands. Underscore the eldest must offer his soul to release the chosen. Underscore. James' breath caught in his throat. His mind reeled. No. There has to be another way. Daniel's eyes met his, filled with despair. "James, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know what this place was." The shadowy figure moved closer. "Your brother entered willingly. His soul was marked the moment he stepped inside. But there is a choice." The entity gestured toward James. "Take his place and he may leave." James felt the weight of the moment pressing down on him. The whispers returned, voices pleading, screaming, urging him to decide. He looked at Daniel, his younger brother, the only family he had left. Memories flooded his mind. Childhood laughter, late-night talks, protecting him from school bullies. James' jaw tightened. There was no decision to make. "Take me instead." A gust of wind howled through the chamber as the shadows surged forward, wrapping around James like living tendrils. Daniel cried out, struggling against his restraints, but the chains around him snapped, releasing him. The ground trembled as a blinding light consumed the chamber. The last thing James heard was Daniel screaming his name before everything turned to nothing. Daniel awoke outside the church, gasping for air. He scrambled to his feet, the memory of James' sacrifice hitting him like a hammer. The once abandoned church behind him now stood in ruins, its walls crumbling, its presence erased from reality itself. Tears burned his eyes. "James!" A gentle breeze whispered through the air, carrying a familiar voice. Live Daniel. Live for the both of us. Daniel clenched his fists, grief and determination intertwining in his heart. He turned away from the ruins, vowing to honor the brother who had given everything to save him. As he walked into the rising sun, he failed to notice the faint shadow trailing behind him, the lingering presence of a soul forever bound to the church's curse. The end.